Welcome to the virtual tour for Banyan Gold's Ormac Project, located in the traditional territory of the Na-Cho-Nyak Dun. Banyan Gold is a publicly traded company with a focus on the Yukon territory. In particular, we have two projects we're working on actively, the Highland Gold Project in southeast Yukon and the Ormac Project located in central Yukon. Ormac is located approximately 500 kilometers north of Whitehorse, the capital of Yukon, and about 40 kilometers north of Mayo. Ormac has an all-season active access with the Silver Trail Highway and a full-scale mine access road which traverses the entire project. One of the great things about the Ormac project is how close everything is. Not only is the highway only a kilometer away, our power line sits just on the other side of it. We're sitting here in the heart of the airstrip deposit. Our camp and where we log the core is only 100 meters from here. So really compact and really tight and easy to get around. The airstrip zone, located immediately beneath my feet here on the old airstrip, is located approximately a kilometer away from the power line zone, located on the power line. Together, these host over almost 1 million ounces of gold. This year's Ormac exploration program is designed to build out and extend the mineralization we defined in 2017, 18, and 19. Exploration at Ormac is fully funded through 2021, and we intend to keep advancing the project through the summer and into the winter. To date, our discovery cost of gold per ounce is approximately $2 per ounce. This is driven largely by low drilling costs, under $200 a meter. Here at Ormac, our mineralization is hosted in a broad, approximately 90-meter thick package of calcareous sediments. These sediments are preferentially mineralized with gold along a strike extent which has now been determined to be over 1 kilometer to 1.5 kilometers. This year's drilling will look to extend that to closer to 2 kilometers. The mineralogy of Ormac is driven by purite and purite mineralization. Purite is a mineral which is subtly magnetic, so magnetics really helps us focus our exploration on this project. The power line and the airstrip projects are separated by approximately 1 kilometer. They are, however, mineralogically different. The 80-meter thick package of preferential mineralization of the calcareous sediments within Ormac, it possibly extends across a thrust fault onto the power line zone. We've only begun to look at the power line zone, but we see a lot more discordant veins and we see a different style of mineralization there. And this is quite attractive because it shows me there's a polymetallic work at play here. It's not just a simple single system. There's a lot of gold, it's been around in a long-lived system, and we intend to determine more of these targets throughout the district itself. So here we are in the core shack. This is a fairly typical section of the airstrip core. Granted, we're a little deep here, 230 meters, probably from 210 all the way down to closer to 3 by the end. We're looking at some deeper holes than we've drilled before this year based on the confidence we've received from resourcing and building a resource model last season. This is your schist. It's part of our calcareous package. Variably mineralized. You'll see some of the denotations we put on the core. We've got cross-cutting veins noted and discordant veins noted in red, and our foliiform or concordant veins noted in yellow. Typically, you see the mineralization focused within these veins, the higher grades that is, whereas the low grade or the lower grade kind of pervasive half gram exists pervasively all throughout as fine disseminations of purite. So we're in the final stages of the process here of logging and cataloging the core. You'll see we do a mag sus reading over all the core because, as I mentioned before, purite is magnetic, and therefore a mag sus hand instrument gives us a pretty good idea of where the grade might be. So we have 3 different zones when it comes to demarking the magnetic susceptibility of the project. We have blue, which is the first stage, red, which is slightly higher, and then black, which is knock your socks off the charts, and that's usually associated with a lot of higher grade purite strains. Our focus at Airstrip this year, and in subsequent seasons, is going to be to demonstrate the size potential of this deposit. To date, we've drilled over approximately 1 kilometer to 1.5 kilometers. This season, we're extending that to 2 kilometers. Part of the demonstration of this resource will be testing it along strike both to the east and to the west. And so there's really no reason at this point we can put bookends on this deposit. The focus will be identifying additional inferred resources to the point where we can really showcase a continental class deposit here on surface in the heart of the Yukon. The real story here, the Airstrip discovery, is the mineralization model we developed internally here at Banyan. We started with 56, 57 different rock types. We were able to cut that back to a simple 5 or 6 rock types. And within that, we were able to see mineralization on the order of 0.5 gram, preferentially extending along this 80-meter thick package, which strikes across the entirety of the Airstrip deposit. With the strength of that model, we were able to apply it elsewhere on the property. Firstly, to the power line. Secondly, to Ormac Hill, which looks like a dead ringer for it. And thirdly, along the strike potential here to the west, we've staked a new zone called the Nitra property. It's located approximately 5 kilometers to the west. And while it's not contiguous, it has all the same geological potential as exhibited here at Airstrip. The Nitra Project's exciting because we get to establish and test our mineralogical model on a whole new suite of previously untested geological terrain. All the drainages from the Nitra Project are currently and have been historically placer operated. So one of my favorite geochemical indicators is a placer operation at the bottom of the hill where you're searching for gold. The Ormac Hill deposit is an early stage focus of ours. It hasn't been looked at carefully in the last 10 years, but it was historically exploited and developed in the 80s and 90s. Ormac Hill's mineralization is more akin to what we see at Power Line. And it's only another 1.5 kilometers south of Power Line. So we believe they're related. And what we intend to do is show that this system and this mineralogical package we've developed here can be applied elsewhere on the property. So the first step to that was across the highway on Power Line, and the next step will be taking that further up the hill to the Ormac zone. The first 5 years of Banyan Gold was focused on the Highland Gold Project, located approximately 50 kilometers northeast of Watson Lake in the southeast portion of the Selwyn Basin in the Yukon Territory. That project lies in the traditional territory of the Liard First Nation. This project, the Highland Gold, hit all the hallmarks that Banyan Gold was looking for: infrastructure, year-round road access, and an existing, near-surface, open-pittable heap leach resource. Banyan has defined 3 distinct zones at Highland. These zones all represent a continuum. I like to call them a string of pearls. Any one of them has a potential to be close to a million-ounce host. We just have to define that target and drill it. That's what Highland takes. It's going to take a dedicated team that believes in discovery to advance it from here, and that's us. The Banyan team is Yukon focused, full stop, second to none. We've got people who know how to permit, people who know how to acquire, people who know how to build, and people know how to operate open pit gold mines in this territory.